You are welcome to this particular class where I want to, of course, use this opportunity to inform you, dear friends, especially the Zekites, all right? Those in 100 level Unizik who, of course, I know that they've been waiting for GMAETS 41 to do, yes, what he's always known for. Just to inform you that today we are going to have a long time, to ensure that I deliver, as I've always done, your workbooks, all right, your workbook solution, knowing, of course, the stress you friends are going through. So just be assured that I am right here for you guys. I got you covered. Make sure you are studying your books in preparation for the examination. Your Physics 101 workbook, you'll be submitting it, I think, tomorrow or so. And please, like I said, my being here is just to inform you that I'm available to deliver the remaining part of the chapters today. So right away, we are just going to solve a few questions, 1, 2, from chapter 3, because previously we stopped at chapter 2, right? And please remember that you always have the opportunity to support the GMAETS 41's work. You can join the platinum or the diamond level. So, I welcome you to the GMAETS 41. In chapter 3, we have from question number 11, and I'm going to dictate question 11. It has 2 parts. We'll solve that. Question 12. Then, of course, I'll go to work when I'm back later in the day. So get ready. Get your writing gear, okay, all set up so that later in the day, towards 6 p.m., we're going on the ride non-stop to bring down the 13 chapters. Let's see what we have in chapter 11. Is it chapter 11 or chapter 3, rather? Question number 11. I'm going to read the question out, please. I won't write it on the board. I'll just dictate it. I want to believe that you students have the question already. So I will dictate it. For friends that will be connecting from other parts of the world, you can, of course, listen to the question as I dictate it. Chapter 3 is based on motion in one dimension. Question number 11 reads, a sedan car accelerates uniformly from rest at the rate of 4 meters per square second. A sedan, S-E-D-A-N. A sedan car accelerates uniformly from rest at the rate of 4 meters per square second. It attains a velocity of 25 meters per second and maintains that velocity for 15 seconds. And thereafter comes to rest after 5 seconds. So you see the description of the motion. All right. First, the sedan car accelerates uniformly from rest at a rate of 4 meters per square second. They gave us the acceleration, uniform acceleration there, and it attains a velocity of 25 meters per second. Now, when this happened, there is a certain time, so we have to find the time. Now, we are told that it maintains that velocity of 25 meters per second for 15 seconds. So a uniform, a constant velocity for 15 seconds, and thereafter came to rest after 5 seconds. The first part of the question says we should sketch the graph to illustrate the information. So this is chapter 3, question number 11. Question number 11. Okay? So we have to draw what? The velocity time graph. This is a part of question 11. A part. In drawing the velocity time graph, there are certain things we are expected to get to obtain. All right? Now, in the first part of the question, we're given the uniform acceleration. By the way, you know that we're expecting a graph to look, something like this. Something like this. This is velocity. This, of course, is time. So something of this kind based on the description of the motion. So from here, we have the uniform acceleration given as 4 meters per square second. And then when it got to this point, the velocity then was 25 meters per second. Of course, we need to know the time that corresponds to the car attaining this velocity. We need to know the time. And of course, to get the time from here, which is from 0, to this point, we have to apply the definition of acceleration, which is velocity over time, giving us that the time duration here is going to be, remember, acceleration is equal to velocity over time. So time is going to be velocity over acceleration. With this, we can get the time from this point to this point. That is what we are going to do. Velocity is 25 over acceleration. Velocity is 25 over acceleration, right? So that is what we are meant to do. That is what we are meant to do. Let us highlight this and see how we solve that. Like I said, get the time corresponding to it. I've just explained something you need to take note of. So from the information given to us, we have that the acceleration, uniform acceleration, is equal to 4 meters per square second. You need to show this working before you sketch anything. You need to show this part of the working. Then the velocity at that time is equal to 25 meters per second. So let us refer to that time when this happened as T1. And of course, like I said, acceleration is velocity over time. So it means that the time will be velocity over acceleration. And this takes, let's say, 25 divided by 4. If you work on 25 over 4, what are you going to get? 25 divided by 4. So this gives us 6.25. So 6.25 seconds. So that is the first time for the first phase of the motion. When it attained this velocity, it maintained that velocity, constant for 15 seconds. So our T2 is equal to 15 seconds. 15 seconds, and thereafter came to rest. T3, 5 seconds. So with this information, we can sketch the velocity time graph, because we're going to have something like this. Okay. The vertical axis is your velocity in meter per second. And then the horizontal axis is your time in seconds. Now the motion begins from rest here. So this is our origin. Since it began from rest, that will be 0 point. And then we have the motion going this way, uniform acceleration. The acceleration there, which is uniform, is 4 meters per square second. At this point, let's say it gets to this point, it accelerated up to this velocity. So if you trace this to the vertical axis, we are going to label here as 25 meters per second. And that velocity is constant, so it goes this way. It maintained it. It maintained this velocity for another time. The question says for 6, right? No, for 15 seconds. So up to this point, watch. From rest up to the maximum velocity 25, it took the sedan car 6.25 seconds. 6.25 seconds. So maintaining this constant velocity, for 15 seconds. For 15 seconds means from this point to this point, it's going to be 15 seconds. I like working on the time separately. I don't like adding them together. What I'm just doing here from this point to this point is 6.25 seconds. Then from here to here is 15 seconds. If you add the time together from here to here, it's going to be 15 plus 6.25. Are you following, right? If you add the time together from here to here, it is going to be 6.25 plus 15 seconds to get the total time from beginning to the point where it maintained the constant or uniform speed. So from here, the car was brought to rest. So we have something like this. So likely brake was applied and it was brought to rest. Now the time it took it from here to this point where it came to rest, which is time 3, was quoted in the question to be 5 seconds. So you see, if you want to get the total time based on the way I have shown this working, based on the way I've shown my diagram, if you want to get the total time, it's going to be 6.25. You add 15 and then you add 5. So that the total time from here to here is actually 26.25 seconds. From this point to this point would give you 6.25. You add 15 seconds to read. If you add 15 seconds from this beginning point to this second phase of the journey is 21.25 seconds. But like I said, for me, I prefer splitting, breaking down the time. That's what I like doing. You may choose to do addition of time up, which means if this is 6.25, this will be 21.25. And of course, if you add 5 seconds, you would get 26.25 here. You decide however you want to present the timing. So this is the first phase of the journey. This is the second phase. This is the third phase. Are you following, right? You might decide to label these as O, A, B, C, D, E. This is the velocity time graph of the journey. Like I said, we can make here to be O, 21.25 seconds. Then O, this time here, if you're totaling all the time, 26.25. Choose any one of the time presentation here. Are you following, right? Choose any one of the time presentation. If you're using 6.25 seconds, 21.25, 26.25, it's expected that when it is time for you to solve question, if you have to do any calculation, the time from E to D is going to be 21.25 minus 6.25. If you're using this, and this, then the time from D to C is going to be 26.25 minus 21.25. I don't like doing that subtraction when I want to do my calculation. That is why I prefer breaking my own time using the exact values of time given to us. Okay, we are done solving for the first part of the question. The second part of the question, let's see what we are asked to do. The B part of the question, using your graph, calculate the total distance covered by the sedan. Using your graph, this graph, calculate the total time. So this is question 11 covered by the sedan. How do we find the total distance? Now, on the velocity time graph, for you to get the total distance, it is best always to check the area under the curve, the area under the graph. That is one way to do that. On this channel, the GMAETS 41's channel, you've got wonderful video lessons teaching you everything about velocity time graph. Of course, I think under motion part 1, they are all fully loaded on this channel for you. Okay, so the area under this graph, the shape is a trapezium. So you can use the area of a trapezium to calculate the total distance covered in the journey. You may still choose to do a split calculation. Where to calculate the total distance, you find the area under the curve for each shape. This is a triangle, so you can use half base times height to calculate the distance for the first phase of the journey. This shape between AB is a rectangle, so you can use length times height or breadth. Are you following, right? To calculate the area of this rectangle. And then finally, half base times height, half base from here to here is 5 seconds, times height. The height, of course, is 25 meters per second. Once you calculate each of the areas of this triangle, add all of them together, and of course, you've gotten the result. And this information I gave to you is very important because you need it, in one of the question ahead, one inconsistent question. That question on its own is not really, the parameters or value presented is not actually correct with respect to the statement given. I think that's question 14. This stuff are already solved completely. The academic firepower of the GMAETS 41 is always on high alert. Like I said, get your writing gear ready. Even if you've worked on this before, because some of you may have used AI and other things, no problem. Come back later. You have your NI here. All right, your natural intelligence is going to teach you this because it's possible that you could have gotten something wrong somewhere, somehow. Compare your workings to be sure that what you did is correct. So let us move on. I am going to use the area under this graph straight on since I know all the parameter. This is a trapezium, like I said. So distance, according to the equation, covered, calculate total distance covered. Total distance covered total distance covered will be equal to the area under the graph, which is area of a trapezium as you're saying it. So I'm simply going to write 1/2. The area of trapezium is 1/2 summation, addition of the parallel sides, then times height. And what are the parallel sides here? AB. So AB, and then plus OC, the total length OC, which of course is the time quantity of values here. We're going to multiply it by the height, and the height is our velocity axis, the constant velocity here. So let me just fix V. This is the formula you use once to calculate the area of this trapezium, which of course gives you the distance. Okay, so let us substitute our values and see what we equal to 1/2. Sum of the parallel sides AB is the distance from this point E to point D, which of course is 15 seconds according to the question. So this is going to be 15 plus, I told you I decided to split the time. So from this point E to point D, it took 15 seconds. If I were to use the diagram that contains 6.25, 21.25, 26.25, now to get the distance or the time of value from E to D is going to be 21.25 minus 6.25, which will still give you the 15. Right? So that is our AB. Then plus OC. OC is the total time from this point to this point, which of course is 26.25. So this is going to be 26.25. Multiply by the velocity, which we obtain as 25, the constant velocity, right? So from here, this is going to be equal to, just reach out to your calculator, then you add 15 plus 26.25, multiply it by 25, and divide whatever you get by 2. So this gave 515.625. 515.63 approximately. Now I want to advise you on something. Please do not just copy anyhow. Make sure before you enter any of the solution into your work, look at the question given to you and the values. Because sometimes for 1-2 questions, I like doing something. I do it for my students sometimes. I'll just change a value somehow. So that, although I just do it for 1-2 questions, not much anyway. Because I want you to follow along how this thing is being done. Like I've always said, for those in last set, and others, I will not be with you in the exam hall to interpret all these things. So you should know how to work on them. So this is the solution for this. But for this particular question, I did not adjust any number. I didn't. Okay? So you can just enter it like that, but follow the explanation. Later in the evening, I wouldn't take time to explain solutions to questions fully because we'll have limited time. So just be for you to enter them. Are you following, right? Yeah. Let us look at the next question. Question number 12. Question 12. We are done with this. Finish up so that I can wipe the board. Finish up so that I can wipe the board. All right, so I want us to take the next question. And of course, after that, I'll be going out for today's work. Like I said, get ready, 5 p.m. We are going to get to business. But at 5 p.m., there will be no time for any explanation. It's just to write on, straight on. Are you following, right? Someone is saying that he prefers or she prefers something. I don't know. Said I prefer watching shorts, bro. No problem. You would watch shorts, but I hope you have already joined the channel, becoming a channel member. because you have to become a channel member, support this channel, and get the best. All right, I am going to wipe this. Like I said, this particular class is to inform you that later in the day, all of the solutions are going to be available. All of the solution, very fast, direct to the point. I won't be explaining anything. The video lesson covering all of these things, they are available for you to take them and understand. If I let us take question number 12, like I said, I'll be very fast in doing that. Let me show you how evening is going to be like. So what do we have in question number 12? Let's see what you were asked to find. Please remember to share the link to this live class to your friends, then inform them that later, especially for those, I know there are many that have not actually answered the questions, in the workbook. I'd given attention to Chem 101. That one is almost done. It's remaining just the last chapter 10, because that will also be available between today and tomorrow. Okay, so share this to your friends, please. Invite them to subscribe. If you are here, you have not subscribed yet, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, select all. You have to select all so at any time I upload anything or come on live, you'll be notified. Question number 12 reads, a car accelerates uniformly from rest at the rate of 5 meters per square second. A car accelerated uniformly from rest at the rate of 5 meters per square second. How far will the car travel in the 7th complete second? How far will the car travel in the 7th complete second? Now I'm going to solve this problem quickly with two different methods, giving you the same answer. First, the method that many would have been aware of. Okay, whenever you're asked to do something in the particular, 7th complete second, as the question put it, you expect to calculate for the time before and that time mentioned, then you subtract. Now, from the information given to us, the acceleration is from rest, and because it is from rest, our u will be equal to 0, and then acceleration is given to us to be 5 meters per square second. The time, 7th complete time, is equal to 7th complete second. So with this information given to us, we are asked to calculate the time, that is how far. Of course, second equation of motion will apply here. S equal to ut plus 1/2 at squared. U is equal to 0, so ut is 0. Your distance s is equal to 1/2 at squared. That's what we are going to use in solving this question. So based on this, we are going to solve for S6. S6 will be half, times A. Let me write out the formula first. 1/2 at squared. And then our S6 is equal to 1/2 times acceleration is 5, then times 6 seconds. If you work on this, you are going to get 2 here, 1, 2 here, 3. 3 times this is 15. So that's going to be 15 meters, right? Oh no, this 6 is squared. This 6 is squared. So you have 36 here. You have 36. If 2 divides 36, you're going to get what? 18. You're going to get 18. And then 5 times 18 is going to give us 90 meters. 5 times 18 is going to give us 90. Now solve for S7. S7 is 1/2 times 5 times that 7 second you square. That 7 second you square, this is 49. 49 times 5 divided by 2. 49 times 5 divided by 2 is going to give us 122.5. 122.5 meters. If this calculation is turning your head, it's spinning it like a carousel. Please, you have to study these topics very well for what they are, so that solving questions will be fast. Oftentimes I come on, I take my time to break down concepts. Meanwhile, on this channel, the full step-by-step teaching, they're already available. So take the lessons, become channel member. Channel membership on platinum, on diamond level for those in Nigeria is 2,000 naira monthly. Yeah, just 2,000 naira monthly for platinum, and 4,000 naira monthly diamond level. If you convert to dollar, 2,000 naira is less than $2. 4,000 naira is less than $4. for those from other parts of the world. So please get access to all these full lectures, understand them. Because like I said, later in the evening, there is no time. I wouldn't talk much, no explanation, too much, just straight on. This is what you're meant to do here. If you do not understand, please contact GMAETS 41, get registered, and then you'll be taught. Remember, on campus, GMAETS 41 runs tutorials for students in Unizik. All right? So to get the distance covered, it's going to be S7 minus X6, which is 122.5 minus 90. If you subtract this, the distance covered is going to be 32.5 meter. So this is the distance covered. This is the distance covered. Remember, I told you that I'm going to use two methods to solve this question. Now, the second method would be using the formula directly, where I won't consider 6 seconds. I won't. So alternatively, I'm going to use a formula that the distance covered is equal to 1/2, all right? And then it's going to be multiplied by the acceleration. When we come to the time, we're going to multiply the time given by 2 and subtract 1. That takes care of the back 6 seconds that we removed when I calculated for S7 and S6. So this is going to be times A, then bracket 2 times N minus 1, where N is equal to the 7th second. 7th second. Okay, permit me to put this second in brackets. So substituting, our distance covered during this journey will now become 1/2. The acceleration is 5, then times, that is bracket 2 times N. N is 7 seconds, subtract 1. Now this is going to be equal to 1/2 times 5, and then 2 times 7 is 14 minus 1 will give you 13. If you solve out this, you would get the same result, 32.5. So 5 times 13 divided by 2 is 32.5. 32.5 meter. If you check the time I use in solving just this question alone, it's not up to 5 minutes. It's not. Just because I still chose to tell you some things you people need to know. I keep highlighting this. You have to learn. You have to learn. Your workbook, yes, is 30 marks. Important, but just 30 marks. You still have 70 marks, I guess, in examination. Are you following? So if you don't understand this for what they are, scoring 30 marks is not sufficient to even make you pass the course. It's not. It's not. So your aim should not just be to come and copy. I've always discouraged that. That is why sometimes in 1-2 question, I'll just adjust a particular question like that. Speaking to my student directly, the GMAETS 41 student directly, those registered with GMAETS 41 in Unizik, this particular solution, question 11A, if you notice, I altered the acceleration and velocity value given to us. I altered it. I switched the values. I'm exposing the secret to you guys now, because I want you people as my students to be involved. Don't just come and copy. Understand this for what they are. Like I said, on the D-Day, I'll be relaxing, drinking 72 bottles. I'm praying for you people. So you must have to learn, understand. And on this channel, I think GMAETS 41 has conquered your academic works in your core courses. Yes. Math, physics, chemistry related courses for 100 level students. Both your practicals, your theoretical part of the courses. Register with GMAETS 41, right? We operate full online classes, full physical tutorials for those in Unizik as well too, for the physical tutorial. Our online classes cover worldwide. Please join us and learn. Join us and learn. To communicate with GMAETS 41, look at the GMAETS 41's contact. You have to learn, so that by the time I am dealing with all these things without taking time to explain the processes deeply, because I won't do that in the evening. I repeat, since you're submitting this work tomorrow, it just have to be done and tidy up all the 13 chapters. Learn, learn, learn. When I do this, you can easily capture the process. All right, we are done with what I want us to do today, just solving question number 11 and 12 of chapter 3. Later, I'm going to meet you as we round off what is left of this workbook. Please help and share this video lesson to your friends. Inform them, tell them that later by 5 p.m. something is cooking on the GMAETS 41, on the GMAETS 41's channel, so that you won't miss out. Remember, 30 marks is at stake. I know the stress your friends are going through, and that is why most times I step in cases like this, to assist you. Besides, from last workbook, this last set workbook, they changed it for your set. Otherwise, the solution to that of last set was already available on this channel, both math, physics, and chemistry. You wouldn't have had the need to go through all this stress. I understand too that some of all these questions, even the textbook, does not even present a direct solution to it sometimes, thereby stressing you much, and you have your exams to prepare for. So I always step in to assist you. Please appreciate it. Come and learn. Subscribe if you're here to subscribe to this channel. After you subscribe, don't stop there. Turn on the notification bell and select all so that you get all updates from this channel. These processes are free of charge. Subscription, turning on notification bell. Then on your own, you have the opportunity, like I said, to go ahead and support GMAETS 41. Become a channel member. Please become a channel member. I appreciate that a lot. Are you following right? You can join the platinum level, or you can join the diamond level. All right, just pay with your card to support this channel. Channel membership is monthly. It's monthly. As you support the channel, you have access to all the content on this channel for 1 month. Then you can also renew. Have I not tried for you guys? Just 2,000 Naira Nigerian currency or 4,000 Naira Nigerian currency. Monthly. 31 days. This is GMAETS 41. Let us meet